from Florida to Oregon, and the major difference is the roads. Now, I went to Florida when I was 18, fresh out of high school, looking for some opportunity, and living with my grandparents. Now, due to some changing of hands, them going into a nursing home, me being financially responsible enough to get my own place and do that stuff, I have ended up moving back to Oregon. And the reason why, the big difference between the two places is the roads. Now, when I moved to Florida, I needed a small, little, cheap car to get me around, long roads, not all that steep, just bridges occasionally, maybe. Very humid, just something that could get great gas mileage, right? Not a lot of rain, not a lot of snow, flat roads, it just needed to be in car. And I found my 2012 Toyota Prius. I drive it, I love it, I would never give it up for any reason in the world. But now I live in Oregon, and I rent a house in Oregon, and to get to that house, you have to drive up a decently steep hill. And it's not fun, especially in a Prius like this. Now, you do feel because it is a Prius, very connected to the road. You're like a frog. You're very connected. But if there's anything I know about Oregon from growing up there, winters are brutal. They are some of the most brutal winters I have ever seen. Snow zone chains required. I'm talking serious snow. And when I bought my Prius, I thought that I was always going to live in Florida, right? Not very steep roads, no ice, no snow, no nothing. The hardest thing it would have to deal with is a few hurricanes and some rain, right? And my Prius has been fine. Prii have been fine. But I'm starting to kind of doubt that now that, my family are saying, well, you're going to need an off-roader for that, and I kind of agree with them. So today we're doing the best budget off-roaders under $6,000, right? Now, why under $6,000? Because the Prius is a nice car, what is a nice car? I would say a car made within the last 14 years that is decent enough to drive and not rusted. And that's my nice car, right? I only drive that to work. My dogs go in the 2008 one, right? But I think I just need a down and dirty $5,000 to $6,000 off-roader. And remember, I'm also not looking to buy like a car here. Like, I don't want another car that I drive daily. I just need like my equivalent of a cheap little Subaru to make it through the snow. So we're going to be going through the 6 best cars for this that I picked out. All of these I'm actually looking at. So this is going to be kind of a different perspective for how I look at things. I think also if you clicked on this video assuming that you are also going to learn, it'll be fine. The first car we're looking at is this 2008 Toyota Highlander. Now remember, these aren't the cars I'm looking at in my local area, but all of these are available in my local area, right? Again, this is my usual 30003, Georgia zip code. So yeah, not bad. This is one of the base Highlander models, and you want to know something that's even cooler? V6. Yeah, V6, 4-wheel drive. Awesome. Now, these cars are just truly amazing because you can see red. Everything about this car is super nice. I mean, this is a car, a very nice, respectable car. Like I said, a lot of people in my neighborhood growing up had Pilots. We had the minivan. Everyone else in the neighborhood had these. These were awesome. These were great. Cloth, cheap interior, but also it's very durable, and the dimensions are great. Like, sometimes it's not just materials, it has to be dimensions, right? Like the Lexus HS, they had wood, it had leather, it had everything, but the ergonomics sucked. You sat in that thing, you felt like you were in a sports car, even though you're driving a wee little hybrid, and you could barely, it just wasn't comfortable, right? This thing has fantastic ergonomics. Nice, big, wide seats, right? You sit very close, but also far away enough from the dashboard that you feel very comfortable. All the buttons are easy to press, and also, I don't care about materials. Ergonomics is really what I'm after, because remember, it's $6,000, right? Again, steering wheel, basic, but that's kind of what you want, right? You don't want to break down in the snow. Like, if my Prius ever broke down, I'll call AAA, they'll come get me, right? This thing, no. I want it to make it through the snow all on its own. A third row, that is going to be really nice. I moved down to Florida just with my grandparents because Florida seemed nice, some opportunity, found a job down there. But I have a lot of family in Oregon. And so, let's say when some of them fly in from Florida or something, I can transport them around in this car, which would be nice, right? Fold up, fold down, third row. My dogs will occupy that space as usual. I don't think I've actually talked about my dogs a whole lot on this channel. I'll have to introduce them to you sometime. Anyway, yeah, V6, very good, great car. I mean, you can just see they hold up so well. This is a 2008 base with 238,000 miles. 238 doesn't scare me at all. Not at all. $4,000, not bad at all. Deal gauge, not bad. It's a little bit high for the average market price. But come on, we all know that this car is going to be bulletproof. And like I said, I made an entire video about why that's worth so much, right? So, yeah, definitely a contender. So, yeah, first one, we've seen that. The next car is the Mitsubishi Endeavor. Now, the Mitsubishi Endeavor was Mitsubishi's bigger SUV for a while. And I actually really, really liked it. Now, it's got this cool, like Storm Chaser vibe, with the really big, thick fenders on it. It's just Really, really nice and refreshing to see. You also have a great rear area here. Like, the Toyota's rear area, like, where the third row and all that happy crap is, it's fine. It's a little bit weird in the way that it's set up, where it's nice and flat, but also the seats just kind of stick up, like right there, and there's some gaps on the side, and you don't really feel integrated all that well. You just feel like, you pulled the floor up, and now you're leaning on it. This has a great back. I mean, you can see that cloth, durable, plastic on the side, really, really nice. Also, you've got like a nice liftgate and some chrome. Chrome can be nice. The interior. I want a car where it doesn't feel like I'm compromising, right? And this feels a little bit like a compromise. I don't know why I don't trust this car as much as I trust the Toyota. I think it's just because it looks so foreign and awkward to me, just because, remember, I grew up with Toyotas and Hondas in, like, the thousands when they were reaching their peak potential. And, yeah, it's not bad. You've also got your cup holders, which fold out. Really neat. See that? Isn't that neat? Think of something more thousands than this, right? Again, you've got that overly aggressive steering wheel with the weird airbag. I don't know. This is a 2004 model, so I don't really think this is a contender for me, but for you, this might work. Aggressive shifter, aggressive everything. And remember, like, look at those seats. They look just so comfortable to sit on, and I'm sure I'd be perfectly safe in an accident. But, it still is a little bit old for me. Then again, of course, you've got your high-tech small screen. It's like, have you ever watched The Office? It's like Michael's plasma screen TV. When you have a very decent screen, it's got to be really high resolution, at least for 2004, and very small. Very, very small. And that's kind of how this car came to be the way it was. But also, it's just super practical. The style might not be the nicest, but everything is super practical. Huge storage spaces, a spare tire, which is amazing. Nowadays, you can't even get a can of Fix-A-Flat on Hondas. This thing is great. Again, everything built like steel, built as steel. It's made out of actual things. Again, a lot of plastic, but it's also made out of things occasionally. Not bad. Totally would consider it. Not bad at all. $4,995,000. Not bad. All-wheel drive, XLS, not bad, 181,000 miles. I still don't trust this as much as the Toyota, because, come on, we all know Japanese brands are more reliable than American brands, but even in Japanese brands, Toyota and Honda are the obvious winners, right? And I think we can all admit that. The Honda Pilot. I originally had the second generation Honda Pilot because it makes sense, right? It's going to be lower mileage, it's going to be newer, but I hate it. I really did not like the second generation Honda Pilot, and I grew up in a first generation Honda Pilot. This is 2004. When I was born, the families had already kind of settled into our neighborhood and already kind of bought their cars, so they didn't have like the newer, like 2010 Zero ones. They had these for like a good 20 years, because remember, in Oregon, you buy like a single new car in your life, and you keep that for as long as it drives, and I love that mentality, honestly. In Florida, you should see, like, my neighbors, they get a new lease every year, and it's like, come on, don't you want to own something for once, I like owning my things, Like, subscription services, that's just a blatant haze to get your money repeatedly. That's why companies love it so much. They can take it for as long as they want to, and as much as they want to. That's why subscription services are so popular, right? And yeah, I like to own my things, and I would rather own this than the other one, right? Super nice vents. I know it's going to last forever. High-low heated seats. Leather seats, everything in this is just really held down well, and the most durable, like, grr thing ever. I remember someone dumped an entire thing of Swedish meatballs in one of these when I was growing up for, like, a family party or Thanksgiving or whatever, because I believe we were snowed in and all eating it, like, I think it was Jake's house? I don't remember. His parents. Anyway, we made, like, Swedish meatballs, and it spilled all the way in the back driving over to the house, because it was, like, a few blocks down, and, yeah, it held up like a champ. We just vacuumed it out, and it was fine. Not bad. Great car. Loved it. We were also, like, again, we were borrowing our friend's car, because, remember, we drove the Odyssey, and the Odyssey, well, we had an Odyssey, and, of course, our Nissan, and they both sucked. Real bad. Real bad. So we needed, like, an actual off-roader thing. And, yeah, it wasn't bad. Loved it. Just borrowed the car. Not bad. So, yeah, I would totally consider one of these. Not bad at all. $4,995,000. Not bad, 229,000 miles. I would, honestly, I would trust this thing with my life. I grew up in Odyssey, a car that if I just saw, I would gladly jump into and live in for the rest of my life. I'm okay with the Highlander, but I really do love the Pilot. And then this next one is a car that I really, really, really love, but not because I grew up with it, just because I love it in general. It's so wacky and weird. I love the Element. The Element is my favorite Honda. It is my favorite Honda. I mean, look at it. It's so blocky. And nowadays, like with the Kia EV2, which I just covered, they're blocky to look stylish or to look new or to look, cool and hip and with the kids. This is blocky so that you can fit crap in it. It's great. You've also got your alloy wheels down there, which they're nice, they're smooth, they're rugged occasionally. But other than that, they're just really attractive, nice wheels. The back, super durable. Again, you do feel like you're on kind of a bus. I remember Shooting Cars talked about that. But other than that, not bad. Door handle, miniature door, speaker. When I saw these doors, I figured the interior was just going to be, like, the inside of the door was just going to be straight up plastic. No, there's actually stuff on the inside of these doors. Usually on suicide doors, the back door is just like a slab of plastic, right? Interior, very nice. You got the leather. I mean, just great. No, is this cloth? EXL. This should be cloth. Cloth. No. Leather? No. Leather cloth. Le cloth. It's got le cloth. And not bad, honestly, held up really well. You've got like a shelf. Honestly, this is probably the one I'm going to buy. I saw one of these. The only issue is I saw a 2010 Honda one, and I don't like, the 2010s are safer because there's an airbag thing. Look on the forums if you want to know more about it. But it's just uglier. I really prefer these wheels with the thing, so I might just buy these wheels and then put it on the one that I eventually end up buying. Anywho, the next car on this list is my cheap and dirty Subaru. This is a 2008 Subaru. Fog lights, very modern, very nice. Again, you've got the reverse lights. This is an iconic, if you grew up in any, this wasn't so much Oregon, because like I said, Oregon, a lot of off-roaders. This was more like a Florida thing, right? These. Not bad, all-wheel drive. The best. This obviously has the best thing here. Not because I think it's durable, but just the overall usability and space. Like dogs can peer their head over. No third row, which means you don't have a lot of moving parts or things. And you have like a floor liner that would just instantly catch all the Swedish meatballs and just rattle them around, which I'm fine with. Rest of the car, pretty decent car, actually. Really nice. You have a hidden stereo system because that was all the rage back then. And again, these Subarus, the way they're constructed, super easy. Your alternator, it's right there. Granted, there's a lot of crap in the way, but also it's right there. Very, I don't know the way that they described it and put it. Like the saving puppies. Like when you save puppies, you are being, to describe their, not environmentally friendly. It doesn't matter. The nomenclature does not matter. $4,997. $4,997,000. 106,000 miles. Not bad. 2.5 high limited. No, just 2.5 high. Not bad. All-wheel drive. Classic. 20 to 26 miles per gallon. All-wheel drive. Off black cloth. Not bad at all. And the last car on this list is the XL7. This is by far out of all these cars the least on my list. Because I don't know the XL7, right? Like the other cars, the Endeavor, I've seen a couple of them, right? My grandfather? Uncle. Someone had one and he lived like way, way out. Like barely even in Oregon, almost in California. And, not California. I am such an idiot. Anyway, yeah. The XL7, I haven't had any experience with it. I've heard that it's very decently reliable. But I don't know, it's a little bit ugly for me. But other than that, the leather interior is great. I preach, forgetting what a car looks like and balancing it off its reliability and dependability. So I'm sure this thing would end up being fine. But, still gotta hold grudges. Other than that, the rest of the car, beautiful, great. I would consider it. But there's just so many other great cars like this and, well, this again. To where this is kind of bumped off the list. $106,000. 106,000 miles, $3,000. These things have depreciated. The company's not even around anymore, which means parts are going to be a nightmare. So, yeah. Well, anyway, with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And please hope that I get one of these before winter. Otherwise, I may just have Prius instead of Prii.